Welcome. Welcome back to Creative Monday Discussion. Hi, I'm your host, Mervin Mudram. It's a pleasure being with you this evening. I was just informed that my audio was out just now, so my apologies on that. And again, I just want to welcome you to Creative Monday Discussion. Tonight, we have the awesome privilege of talking to two amazing entrepreneurs who had to navigate some very challenging times and yet keep their business afloat. Being an entrepreneur is more than just passion. We need passion to be an entrepreneur, but it takes that determination. It takes strategy and planning and determination to press through the challenges as it comes. So tonight we're going to talk to two amazing entrepreneurs. But before we do that, I just want to say my heart and from our team here, our heart goes out and solidarity to those who are affected by the storm, the flooding that's been happening in Belize, other parts of the world through this hurricane that was passing through. I know in the Belmopan area, the Roaring Creek area, Cayo area, we've had quite a few floodings. And so we had the privilege of catching up with one young entrepreneur who's using their creativity, their influence to kind of have an impact to their community. So I want to bring on the screen. Before we bring our guests on, we just wanted to bring a quick interview that we did with Rebecca Sturm. She is one of our previous guests, and so when we saw what she was doing, we wanted to make sure that we highlight it. So just give us a minute just to hear from Rebecca.
The first day we'd gone out was when flooding had first kind of started to rise really, really quickly. So we went out there to go take a look, and I was completely shocked because my entire 28 years of here, I've never ever seen it get that high. And it was going into the second story of people's houses. We've only ever seen it cover the first story, and it was going to people's second stories. So it was a complete shocker. And I know that it's not just our area. Obviously, we've been back in Cala Creek area to see where the river is crossed over. We've looked around the Cayo, and we're also have looked around back behind Roaring Creek, and we're hearing stuff from Valley of Peace as well is bad. And so it's definitely not just us, but I know that people right along the river here. Serious water coverage.
Yeah, I mean, it was crazy just watching pictures. People took drone shots. I saw you took some pictures, seeing just the roof of some house. That was alarming. Just so right now, so many people are losing equipment. They're losing their just even some of their livelihood. I saw some businesses underwater. It's very alarming and shocking. I see that you're doing an initiative to kind of rally the community and rally people to help. Tell us a little bit about that.
All right. So kind of our idea behind it is helping your neighbor, helping as a community, keeping it local and keeping it within your circle. Belmopan, Kyle, we all help people within our circle to get back on their feet, right? And so when we were thinking, I was talking to my husband and a girl from work here just about what we can do, what would actually be useful on first thing on Saturday morning. And I'm like, what can we do that will actually be helpful to people? Yes, people need water. Yes, people need food. And that's the first thing that other people are going to go to do. But what would I want done if my house was up to the second floor in water?
Yeah.
I'd want my house cleaned, because how am I going to move back into it if it's covered in mud? And not just any normal mud. I'm talking contaminated water, water through septics, water that is flowed through local, some of the grocery stores that the refrigerators have turned over, and we're talking chicken and shrimp floating around in the floodwater. Dead animals, chickens that have drowned. So this is not just water. This is seriously contaminated water, and this is in your home. And so previously I've been okay, maybe we'll need towels and sheets and stuff, but once we're able to wash people's stuff, then we're going to be able to get, people back on their feet.
Yeah.
Today, on our first day doing actual cleaning in people's houses and businesses and stuff, I realized none of the stuff should probably be washed and used. It is contaminated and so in such bad condition that there's no washing that. And so some of the furniture and stuff is still usable because only the bottom got wet, right? But mattresses, everything that's been soaked, people's clothes, I don't know if you can wash them enough to make them usable,
Yeah.
So people need clothes, people need mattresses, people need their furniture back, everyone's electronics. We found painter Bujo, his paint floating literally thing of paint floated out of his house, and we were like picking up his paints for him out of the
Wow.
water for today.
Wow.
So
Well, man,
anything.
yeah. Well, it is alarming, and it's heart wrenching, and we definitely stand in support and solidarity of everyone who's being affected by this, right? And
Yeah,
so I want to applaud you for what you're doing and your team. And I know there's so many people doing different things, and
yeah,
we
which
we
is
just
so
yeah,
needed.
yeah, it's so needed, and we just wanted to just help people to, I guess, bring more awareness of what's happening and what they can do. So tell us, how can people jump behind what you're doing in helping the community get back on their feet and get businesses back on their feet as well?
Yeah. All right. So first thing we're getting is donations for cleaning supplies, bedding, towels, clothing, food, and water. Those are our first things. Specifically like bedding, towels, that stuff is really, really needed. Pillows, fast, because people don't have sleeping arrangements once they do get back into their homes. You can contact myself for those donations, as well as Astrid from Meraki
Okay.
and Bethany from Chef's Tent. The three of us are collecting up stuff and we'll be starting to distribute. Gallardo's is also doing a food drive. So any food related items, it's awesome if you guys could drop off there at
Awesome.
Gallardo's. They'll be distributing as well. And then water, any 5 gallon waters, cleaning supplies, things like that, you guys can drop off Formosa in Belmopan. We'll be
Very good.
picking up and doing another drive over to Kala Creek with water and food supplies and clothes and stuff, as well as for in this area too.
Very good. Well, Rebecca, thank you so much for your time. This show is all about creatives transforming lives, and this is a perfect example of a creative entrepreneurial individual like yourself and your team doing what you can to bring transformation to the lives of your community, right? So, do you have any final comments and remarks for us?
Yes. For everyone watching, check and find out who in your specific area is heading something up and try to get in contact specifically with them. So if you're in Belize City, there is flooding in Belize City as well. The Red Cross and the Scouts Association are doing stuff in Belize City as well as countrywide. Your local Rotaract, get in touch with them. Right now is not the time to go to your politician. Right now is the time to rally as a community and start getting things done with or without them.
Awesome, awesome. Thanks, Rebecca. Thank you so much for your time.
All right. See you.
All right, guys, and that's that. There we had it with Rebecca Sturm, her company Twig and Pearl, and the community in Roaring Creek. They're rallying together to really jump behind the devastation that took place because of the flooding. So I want to echo what she was saying. Look in your community, look around, look in your neighbor, and let's see what we can do to be a help to get businesses and family back on their feet. So, as I mentioned earlier, we're going to have two amazing entrepreneurs join us, but we're going to take a quick commercial break. And when we come back, we're going to bring our first guest on with us. Stay tuned.
Hey guys, Armando here, and I got some fantastic news to share with you. For the first time on television, the national channel brings to you the 2020 Esports PUBG Tournament. This is a 3-week event kicking off with Zone 1 on October 27th, leading to the tournament finals live on the national channel on November 14th. On this date, numerous teams will come together with one goal. Champions will rise. Who will be the last player standing? Tune in for the 2020 PUBG Mobile Tournament every Tuesday and Thursday starting October 27th, live on the national channel and the national channel's Facebook page.
And welcome back again. You are tuned in to Creative Monday Discussion, and I want to encourage you to use the comment section below to let us hear from you. We want to know where you're tuned in from. If you're in Belize, if you're outside of Belize, we want to say greetings and good evening to our audience watching on TNC. Thank you guys for making Creative Monday Discussion your show here on Monday night. As I mentioned earlier, we have two amazing guests that's going to join us, and we're just going to jump into it because we want to maximize this time. So the first guest we want to bring on for this evening is Mr. Eider Romero. Good evening, Eider. How are you doing?
Hi, good evening, Belize. Everyone that's tuned in. I'm doing good, and I was touched by Rebecca's initiative that she's doing for the flood victims that we had
Yeah.
in Belize. I mean,
Yeah.
it's really hard to see what happens, and that as well has inspired me to probably do a collection here in my area and
Yeah,
send
yeah.
some stuff north, because in the north we didn't get much affected. We just had rain.
Yeah, and that's what I'm hoping that those who are tuned in will be inspired to take action. Like we can make a difference.
Yes,
We can do
we can.
something about it, right? So either tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Okay, well, Eider Romero, ER's Icy Treats, and I make frozen products and serve smiles to my customers. We are a northern business. We make products and distribute here in Orange Rock and Corozal, and it's been a roller coaster ride for the past 9 years with the business, but it's been good, and it has gotten me very far in the business, right, and in the community.
Awesome, awesome. I really enjoy your story. Like your story is one of those stories that excites me because it's very similar to my story. But you started this business from a very young age. You were 14, right?
Yes, yes, I did.
So
I was.
tell us a little bit about the origins and how this amazing business came about.
Okay, well, we were in second form in high school, and we were tasked to create a new product using elements that were in our surroundings, and we had to sell the product, but it was an English assignment, and it was a written part that would be graded. But the entrepreneurial spirit in me said, okay, we're gonna make this project. We're gonna sell the idea to the class. So most definitely, if I do have the product, I will sell the product. And in the group, we started deciding like what we were aiming for, what we wanted to do, and it was really hot. Everyone was sweating in the class, and I was like, okay, we need something that to cool us down. And that's when I said, you know what? In Belize, we have a lot of fruits, and let's make fruit popsicles, and that's where it started. I did invite my friends to like let's invest and start selling the product, and they didn't. I did. So the day of the presentation, that's when I decided to make enough products to sell for the day of the presentation. And surely enough, they sold out the day of the presentation. And first in the class, I sold some, and then for break, when we had our break time, that's when I took the cooler outside, and I had these posters already made. We had flyers already made for the products, and I was like, okay, you gotta taste it. Come on, get your paletas, taste your paletas. They're really good, delicious. And like I sold out, and I came home with an empty cooler and my pocket full. So that was like the best feeling ever, right? And everyone
Amazing.
told me, "Oh, it's good, it's delicious. You should continue. You should try it." And they're like, "When you're gonna have more paletas?" And I told them, "Okay, I can't bring it to the school because I can't be making business at school, but you can come to my house. I'm gonna keep having them." And sure enough, my friends kept coming. I had my neighbors down the street. The people started to know, like word of mouth is like, oh, that guy sells like paletas at his house. Go check him out. And
Awesome.
that's how we started to adding more flavors to the list. And I ventured into different type of sales, and we started. Then afterwards, we started adding like ice creams and chamoyadas already to the list of products that we have now.
What was it like with your parents? I mean, you're young, you're 14, you're starting to get this thing moving. What kind of support did your parents bring to you as you move forward?
Uh, and my parents, I owe them a lot. They are the ones who kept on inspiring me to continue. And um, I in the business, once you know you're making profit, then you that gives you the motive to continue.
Yeah.
So I didn't spend any of my money, which my parents told me, you if you want to grow, you have to keep investing and so on. Because my both my parents are educators, so they taught us well. And my dad is a born salesman, so That's where I get the entrepreneur side of me. And
It's good.
so I started saving my profit. Like my friends would say, "Oh, let's go out." I'm like, "No, I have to buy my freezer." So
Awesome.
I saved up enough money using my mom's freezer. My mom's tuned in. So using my mom's freezer at home, and I'm like, I promise you, someday I'm gonna buy a freezer. I'm gonna buy a freezer. I'm gonna buy a freezer. And surely enough, it took me about like 2 months, and I bought myself a freezer. So
Yeah.
we started off like that. Oh, my uncle lent me a freezer temporarily when the demand started going up. Then shortly after, I saved up. I bought freezers, and I had to get more trays to make more. Yeah, that picture is a little store we have in park. So it has been continuously growing into what it is now, and we still
Yeah.
have more growth in mind for the country because we're only in Orange Walk and Corozal.
Yeah.
So we have the entire rest of the country to get to. And this picture here is in Belize City. We used to go to the super sales that they have on
Okay.
Albert Street. So some customers started to get a little taste of ERs, and they surely liked it. And shortly after, we had COVID, so
Yeah.
no more super
So
sales, no more expos.
yeah, man, I'm really excited. I'm watching these things, and I'm really kind of like, oh, should I stop my diet? But I gotta keep my diet. I'm off sweets, right? But here's the thing, man. You were 14 when you started this business. You got
Yeah.
that idea, that spark. You ventured out. So tell us, we're years in. Where is the company now? Where is the company now since you started it when you were 14?
Okay, since I started the business, it took me, like, I would say, right about graduation time.
Yeah.
That's when I graduated, I got the chance to travel out of the country as an exchange student. And then upon
Nice.
returning, I got another opportunity, which I was my story was submitted to the Caribbean, which the Caribbean Microfinance Award. That was in 2014. And so I went to Jamaica, represented Belize, represented
Oh,
the
very nice.
Caribbean, and I won as best young micro entrepreneur in the Caribbean.
Very nice.
So from there on, that's when my dad decided, says, you know what, I'll partner with you and I'll invest in the business. And that's where he became my angel investor, and now it's a family run
Nice.
business.
Awesome. Well, man, I want to say I'm very proud of you as a young entrepreneur. You're an inspiration to many, and I want to encourage young people out there. Hey, don't take your ideas lightly. You don't know where it will go. Those ideas, those sparks that happen, don't take them lightly. Work them, see what happens with them, and who knows, you can be the next entrepreneur, young entrepreneur representing Belize outside in many areas, right? So I just want to thank you, Eider, for joining us tonight. Guys, don't go anywhere. We'll have Eider back, but we have another guest, as I mentioned, that we're going to bring on. But we're going to take a quick commercial break, and then after that, we'll have our second guest on for the evening.
2013, with the assistance of the European Union and the government of Belize, the YWCA Belize opened its YWCA National Resource Center for Enterprise and Development Facility in the St. Anne's Complex in Independence Park in the capital of Belize, Belmopan. Courses such as sewing, cake decorating, culinary arts, computer, cosmetology, barbering, massage, and palliative care and English as a second language are offered. Classes run in 13 weeks long sessions, with intakes occurring for the periods January to March, April to June, and September to December every year for persons 15 years and older. For children under the age of 15, a 1-month-long summer program is available, usually commencing in mid-July. The YWCA NRCED invites all to visit its offices to find out more.
All right, thank you. And so again, guys, I want to encourage you, if you want to find out how you could be a sponsor for the show, kindly connect with us. It's info@mervinbudram.com, or you can WhatsApp us, 614-8540. And again, we want to thank our sponsors for making this show a reality. We want to say thanks to Formosa Cafe. We want to say thanks to the Art Shack, Coaching with Melanie, Task Belize, YWCA, TNC, and Budram Solutions. And again, if you want to find out how you can be a guest or a sponsor on the show, kindly reach out to me. We have our second guest that's going to join us shortly. She is an amazing entrepreneur right from here in Belmopan, where I live. I actually just recently met her. I was doing some errands around Belmopan, and we ran into each other. We got to talk a little bit. And so I'm excited to introduce my second guest for you guys tonight. Her name is Shahida Vega. So good evening, Miss Shahida. How are you doing?
Hi, good evening. We're doing well.
Welcome.
Thank you for
Awesome.
having me on your show.
Yeah, it's a pleasure having you. So tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do, and help the audience to get to know you.
I'm Shahida Vega. I live in Belmopan since 2012. I have two businesses, The Loft by Shads. That's a boutique with home goods, female clothing, kids clothing. And 1 year later, I opened Bellavi's Bistro, catering to the community of Belmopan and people that come into Belmopan doing business and just passing through.
Very nice. Very nice. So when we were talking last week preparing for the show, I was very intrigued by something you said, that you determined that closing your doors was not an option. Like we know we're all going through some very challenging times right now. We're coming through this COVID time. We're already 11 months in. Imagine that, 11 months in, and so many businesses had to close their doors. But you said you determined not to close your door. What drove you to have that resolve?
I believe that having a vision for success, regardless of the pandemic situation, we had to figure a way out. And because apparently it has become a way of life. It has, for some time now, it's basically the norm. I have full-time employees, and I could not close my doors to them. They are one of my major assets, and as well as the community, as well as the people of Belmopan. So we started off with a bang. We catered to the different ministries, business lunches, birthdays, anniversaries, and just a casual family outing. We used to do live music every Thursday night, and that was a hit. Everybody enjoyed it, and it was something different, bringing something different to the community. So we made changes. The gathering were different. We went from full-fledged restaurant to takeout and pickup and delivery. So I kept most of my staff. Some, the others, well, they left by choice, but they're back again.
Awesome.
And we had to make many changes with the menu. Dinner was cut off pretty much. So we started being creative with baking specialty breads. Easter time came around, we made hot cross buns, focaccia bread, honey oat bread, all by different orders. We created a little Thursday pick up drinks, just drive by, pick up your drinks. But slowly we are almost back to normal, I'd say.
Yeah.
You know, with lunches and dinners, our hours have changed. We do lunch Monday to Saturday, but now we do dinners from Thursday, Friday, and Saturday nights.
Very nice.
And
Very
Saturdays,
nice.
due to COVID, we started, you know, experimenting, doing turkey dinners, starting to barbecue, and we have, you know, made it through COVID, and here we
Yeah.
are.
I love what you said earlier on, and I want to bring us back to that because I don't want us to miss it. You said, you know, having a clear vision. And so tell me a little bit. What's that vision? What are you seeing when you're in this space? What's that vision that's driving you?
Well, upon brainstorming before opening the bistro, I wanted to do something that Belmopan didn't really have. We have lots of places in
Yeah.
Belmopan, but I'd say more open spaces,
Yeah.
and a lot of us would have to, for special occasions, we would have to drive to San Ignacio, drive to
Yeah.
Belize City. So pretty much Bellavi's, you know, cuts out the drive, you know, and
Yeah.
you're here, you're home pretty much.
Yeah. Well,
So, and
if I can interject, you achieved that, I believe. I remember I was telling you when we were talking last week, I was doing my morning exercise, and I walked past, and I had to do a double look. I had to do a double take because just the aesthetics of the place was very inviting. It was different, and I was like, oh, I definitely need to take my wife there. So I made note. Okay, this is a great date night spot for my wife and I, right? So I believe you succeeded in creating something that's unique and I believe different, and something for the Belmopan and surrounding communities to come and participate with. You know, what has it been like for you? You know, you're a female entrepreneur, you're a Belizean. What has your experience been like for you in the business space?
um, well, I'd say that as a female entrepreneur, it's just pretty much being focused, being dedicated.
Yeah.
Um, you know, you have to have that drive, and like I said, with that vision, um, you can't really make excuses. There's just a goal. You know, you have to just be prepared, and believe me, you will encounter many obstacles along the way. But that should never let you down. That should never, um, you know, never let you hesitate from what's your next step. How do we fix things? How do we move on from A to B? And there's not never a no. You just have to make sure that being focused and execute.
Yeah, I love that. I love that, and I want to echo that for us. You know, and this applies not just in business. I believe in every area of our lives. One being focused. How? So here's my takeaways. One, have a clear vision. Then we need to be focused on that vision, and then we need to execute. Right, and I
Right.
feel like those are recipes for success. If you want to succeed in business, if you want to succeed in any venture, you have to have a clear vision. You got to focus, and then you have to execute. And I would add execute well. If you're going to do it with excellence. And I'm going to bring up back a couple of your food because what I'm seeing from this is excellence. I'm seeing a commitment to not just slap a little thing together, but to do it well, to do it classy, to do it presentable, right? And so I just want to encourage us again, guys. If you're in the area, stop in, connect in, right? I want to thank Ms. Shahida for being with us tonight. Guys, we're not done with Ms. Shahida. We're going to take another commercial break. And then when we get back, we're going to go into our Q&A section just to talk to them as entrepreneurs, what were some of their challenges, what were some of their growth pains, what are some of their advices. So if you have questions, if you notice both these entrepreneurs are in the food space, if you have questions, you're stepping out and venturing out in some kind of food venture, and you might have questions and how did you handle this or how can you handle that, use our comment section. We want to hear from you. So we're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we get back, we're going to have both our guests on the screen with us.
People daily seek to connect to something meaningful, something eternal, something they can invest their time, energy, and money into.
Make a connection. Transpolice for all the graphic designs and advertising needs. Connect to Transpolice for all your web designs and branding needs.
Connect to Task Belize. We use graphic art, videos, websites, and social platforms to connect businesses, organizations, and individuals to what's most valuable, people. If you're imagining your information on the web, on a poster or video, TAS will make it happen. So go ahead and plan your wedding. We'll capture it for you. Document the things you want to remember, and we'll compile it for you. Write your songs, and we'll record you. Don't stop there. Go bigger. Paint it, and we'll billboard it. Brochure it, banner it, and postcard it. Business card, bookmark, and catalog it. If it sounds like too much, business package it. Because we do that too, and we've got you. We are committed in heart and mind. And what we do it well.
Make a connection to Transpolice for all the graphic designs and advertising needs. Connect to Transpolice for all your web designs and branding needs.
Welcome back to Creative Monday Discussion. I am your host, Mervin, and we have some amazing entrepreneurs with us tonight. Before we bring them back on the screen, I once again want to thank our sponsors for just supporting us, being a part of this show and partnering with us. I want to thank Task Belize. I want to thank the Art Shack, Belmopan, YWCA, TNC, and Budram Solutions, as well as coaching with Melanie. So again, if you want to find out how you can be a sponsor, don't hesitate, reach out to us. We have some really cool packages that will help get you in front of your audience. And so now we want to bring on our other guests. I just want to say again, good evening to you, Ms. Shahida. Good evening, Eider. Again, thank you guys for being here on the show with us. And again, I want to say to our audience, if you guys have questions, feel free to share it. Also, if you have comments, if you know these awesome people, let them know that you're here, you're supporting them, you're rallying behind them. Right. So my first big question for you guys, during COVID, many had to close their doors. And I said, we talked a little bit about that earlier. You both had to adjust to keep your door open. So tell us a little bit about what you had to do to keep your doors open. And so any one of you can go. We could feed off each other. You can add as well. But yeah, tell us some of ladies first, right? Either saying ladies before Jen, right? All right. Tell us a little bit about what were some of the practical steps you had to take to keep your door open. And I know, Ms. Shahida, you already said some of that with adjusting your price and with staff and stuff. But is there anything else you want to add to that?
Pretty much it's creativity, being creative. Like I said, thinking outside the box, doing, I'd say, our little bar that we had, the drive-by bar, making different mojitos, making drinks available, coming up with different lunch ideas. Actually, I have an amazing bartender. He does pretty much everything. We even created a delivery service, and he said, "Hey, I'm gonna deliver. You don't need to get a courier service. We're gonna do this." And like I said, I have an amazing staff, and they're my biggest assets. They're creative in the kitchen. They think outside the box, and I have a good support system.
Awesome. I love that. I love that. No, I really, really love that. The support system. I think that is so key in a time like this, having a strong support system. Eider, any thoughts?
Okay, well, like most businesses, we had to shut down for, I guess it was like 1 month, month and a half, 2. So from that time, I was like, okay, we had to close down. We had our only location in Central Park, and they closed all street vendors and all public parks here in Orange Walk. And the people on their own stopped going out, so we closed that one down, and that's when I opened the one here at the factory for takeouts only. So we closed down a location, and we opened one right at home with through the window. We served our customers. And also, I went into the police department, and I told them, we had an agreement made so that our ice cream truck can keep on going out and selling as well. We give our ice cream vendors, we have them with sanitizer so they can sanitize, and the vans have windows, so when they're attending to someone, they just open it, attend to them, serve them, and keep on moving, right? So
Awesome.
it's all done like with health safety first.
Very nice. I love, like you said, you went to the police, and I remember when we were talking last week, you talk about that persistent of going back every week. I think was it every week to check to
Yes, I
get
had to go like
permission.
yes, yes, because it was like a complete ban, no street vendors, and I'm like, okay, but we're in a van, we are not exposed as much.
Yeah,
If we follow the regulations, wear your face mask and we sanitize, we provide sanitizer for our workers. Our products are in packages. You know, it's a low risk because it's going to the customer. So when they receive the money, they disinfect, and then when it comes here, we disinfect everything again. So um, I had to prove that to them and say, okay. Then I told them, all right, my workers need their livelihood. We need to continue as a business as well. So, you know, that's
yeah,
how we continued the business, and they said, okay, we grant you the permission. So, um, it's been business a bit as usual. So,
yeah,
thankfully, the economy is still circulating for now.
yeah, yeah. So you know that persistency. I love that. So I think someone dog wants to get into the conversation. They're excited
Yes.
about being an entrepreneur, right? So, but yeah. So the what I want to ask you guys, what were some of the what were s- not just COVID, but overall, like what were some of the challenges you had to overcome with your business to get your business where it's at right now?
Anybody?
Anyone?
Okay.
I
Well,
either go for it either.
so my one I would say would be my age. That was one
Yeah,
of the biggest things because being young and I was like okay, for the part of that we got the store in the park. You know, I had to write up a letter, send it in to the town board, requesting the permission to put in a little outlet in there, and then once that was granted, you know, everything would have to be formal, and so I got that space in, and that's where I started to get to know more people and so on in business. And so I would say the age of people not taking
yeah,
you a bit seriously,
yeah,
but the persistent helps a lot, and um,
yeah,
that's what keeps us going. The inner
yeah,
drive, you know, to continue,
yeah.
and um, the being creative. We have to be creative and given circumstances to continue striving and moving forward.
Yeah, I know both of you are in, like I said, are in the food space, and imagine the quick change and creativity and adjustments that you've had to make, like in this time. Like, how was that for you? Like the having to make these quick decisions, all the policies with the COVID turning and the government releasing the different requirements. Like you guys had to make quick decision. You had to adjust it quickly. Shahida, what was that like for you?
It was, I'd say, good and bad because it really put us on the spot. One minute we're closing down, the next minute we
Yeah,
can dine outside. So we pulled all tables outside because we only have bistro, like small bistro tables outside, just to have a drink or maybe an appetizer. But we really pulled all furniture outside every evening, set it all up. I think I sent you a picture
yes,
because we sat right under the pergola, and tables, tablecloth, everything full setting outside, which was really nice. I mean, it really had a nice romantic setting. So the first day we did that, we had our regular guests coming over and calling, "Are you open? Can we come? We really need to get out. We need a drink. We need, food." Feel locked up, and we created that space for them. We
yeah,
created that space, and it worked. it really worked. So
Awesome.
that led us back into a little sense of normalcy, I'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
So
good.
that's what we did.
Very good. We had a question that came in for you, Ms. Shahida. So let's pull that question up. Ms. Shahida, what did you do before the Loft and Bellavis? How did you prepare for entrepreneurial ventures? So that's a very good question. We'd love to hear from you now.
Before opening the Loft and Bellavis, I was a senior accountant at Niche for 8 years.
Okay, nice.
Prior to that, I also did accounting at Vega's distributors. And as I got out of college, about, I'd say maybe 2-3 months after, I had opened my own boutique in Belize. It was Shad's Casuals, and I had also opened about a year after, I had a gift shop at the airport. So after college, I went straight into being an entrepreneur, opening a boutique, opening a gift shop at the airport, and I had within the boutique, I had a little nail salon as well.
Oh, nice.
So I had 3 things going at the same time.
Nice.
Yeah.
And how did you balance it all? I mean, that's even right now. You have the Laugh in Belmopan, you have Bellavis. How are you balancing how?
Before then, when I had all 3 going on, I was single, not married, and I had the time. So all I did was work, and be in the middle of all 3, and sharing time and trying to have a good balance. I start off. But after getting married and moving to Benke, where I lived for some time, that's why I closed it down. I had and I didn't really travel as much, and that's when I started working at Vega's distributors. And in 2009, that's when I moved on, and I moved on to Niche, and I stayed there for 8 years as their senior accountant. But after leaving, then I decided I'm going to be my own boss. I'm going to work for me.
Yeah. But I love how all the experiences we go through build on our skill. It builds on our foundation, so that when we actually venture out into the things we really want to do, we have a wide network, we have experience that goes along with it. For both of you guys, what has the customer support been like over the stretch? Eider, you want to take that one first?
Yeah, well, in business, we value our customers to the max, because it's the customers that has us keep on going to serve them. So I would like to take time to thank our past customers for the 9 years that we've been continuously providing new products. Big thank you to them for having us where we are today. And yeah, I think that would be about it, no?
Yeah. Ms. Shahida, what's the customer support? I mean, we're hearing it already in your story, the customer asking for the product, but what has it been like for you, like on your end?
On my end, Belmopan has been an amazing community and very receptive to my business. I have some that call every single day and depend on Bellavis being open. They're already open. Are you going to open on Wednesday?
Awesome.
So I am very grateful to the community of Belmopan and the people that come from outside as well, because being that it's something new, 1 year is still new, and people would call, we see it on Facebook, how do we get there? Can you send us a location? So I am really grateful for that support from the community of Belmopan, and of course everybody else that comes, from different outskirts of Belize City, of Belize.
Very good, very good. Eider, I want to direct this one to you first. You're a young entrepreneur, and you said it earlier that you've had to. One of your challenge was just being young, and the learning curve, the growth curve that you had to go. Then also people taking you seriously. What would you say to a young person right now, having gone through what you've gone through, what would you say to them as they're thinking about stepping into the entrepreneurial space and even starting out their own venture? What advice would you give them?
Okay, there's this famous quote that I really believe in and I'm looking forward to. I hope I don't mess it up. So it's like you work while you're young and party when you're old. So most Belizeans do the backwards.
Yeah.
And they party when they're young and then they work till they're old. You know?
Yeah.
So if you want the equation to work out for you, work from young.
Yeah. That's good. Yeah. And you know, it takes a lot of discipline. It takes a lot of planning and thinking ahead, thinking about the bigger picture in the future and not just looking at what you're seeing now. You know, when I was about your age, when I was 14, when I was in college, that was one of the things I started to do. It was simple, but I used to start. I started a service in school. If you take the pint bottle after you drink soda back, you get a shilling. And so I started a service. I took an extra bag in my backpack, and I used to go around break collecting every one bottle and take it back for them. And everyone was happy that I'm taking their bottles back for them, but I was making shilling every time I take those bottles back, right? And so, you know, it's kind of just making those little decisions to be disciplined, to be focused, and finding extra ways to generate. What were you going to say, Eider?
Yes. You found an opportunity to make money.
Yeah, and that is so key in this time.
In business,
So,
yeah, it's either opportunity or solve a problem.
Yeah, definitely. So, Ms. Shahida, for you as a female entrepreneur, and because first of all, I'm very impressed with what you've done and what you've accomplished, and there's a lot of entrepreneurs, female entrepreneurs. There's a lot of women out there trying to decide, especially in this time, should I venture out into something? Should I not venture out into something? What do I do? What would you say to them?
I'd say once you set your goals, all you need to do is do a little brainstorming, set goals, and be determined. You know, never let anything, you know, set you back from what you want to do. Always think of the different possibilities and never really think of the negative. Always be positive. You know, let that be your drive. Let that be your drive. And definitely, you know, with perseverance, anything is possible, you know. There's always, when I just opened, you know, somebody came in there and, you know, they love the place, it's beautiful, and you're brave. And I said, really? And why? Said, well, yeah, you're brave to open a business like this in Belmopan, especially in this location all the way here. I said, but sometimes you don't need to be in the center of everything. Sometimes once you're good, people will find you. And and you know, it was a couple, and the gentleman said, well, I think you're brave because Belmopan people, it's hard to please them. And for me, it's the total opposite. Belmopan people, I told you, the community is very supportive, and you know, they're consistent, and like I said, you know, they keep coming back because, you know, customers first, and you know, we value our customers.
Yeah, I think that's a great response, and it actually segue into the question that came in for both of you. So, okay, if we can pull up that question that came in for both of you. The question is saying, what is your most effective method of promoting your business, and can you share any growth strategy tips? Who want to go first?
I guess it's my turn. Social media is free, it's effective, and once you know how to or let's say once you have a good graphic design and you post it up and you ask your friends to share it, and you create maybe a little giveaway and you share stuff, that's how more people will see it. And because right now we're in, like, 2020 has led us more into technology, and everyone's online as well. So we have to use the take it as an advantage, you know.
Yeah, very nice. Miss Shahida?
I definitely have to agree. Social media, definitely a way of marketing, and word of mouth. I have had people call without even seeing Facebook. Just, my friend told me they suggested that, we plan an event here, and a lot of people just respond through social media too. They, place their orders on social media. So I think definitely I have to agree with Eider as well. And we have our like menus at two of the different the inns in Belmopan as well. They come in, they check in, and they can also order food from us as well. So that's just another, way
Yeah.
of reaching out to people that come to stay in Belmopan.
Very nice. So I'm hearing this. Let me summarize what I heard. I heard one, good customer service, delivering good service and good products, referrals, getting your friends to refer and jump behind what you do, but getting people, even your customers, when they do work with you, they buy your product, encourage them to talk about it and share it. And partnerships, and that's what I heard from what Ms. Shahida said as well. Partnering with the hotels and different places where you can get your brochures, your business cards circulated, as well, right? And so I just want to encourage you guys. There's a lot of, especially in this time, there's a lot of very unique marketing strategies that's taking place. I see people selling clothes now on Facebook through Facebook Live, and they're doing all these different things. So people are getting really creative in this time, and so yeah. And the second half of the, sorry, you wanted to say something?
I was just gonna add to that, and I'm sure Eider would agree. Consistency and quality control. That's another two important factors as well. Definitely, because once you have that quality control on your product, that's very, very important.
Very good. Very good. Awesome.
Yeah.
And then the second half of that question, any growth strategy tips? Both of you, either you went from starting your business when you were 14 to where you're at now. The Shahida, you went through multiple business ventures and grew them and shut some down and started new ones. Any growth tips and advice for those who want to scale their business? Any one of you can go first.
I'll give that one to Shahida.
I would go back to saying, right now I feel like I'm on a path to growth. Growing back, because COVID took me like a few steps back. So, adjusting back, I'd say stay on your path and stay focused and be open to different ideas, be open to change. This has made us realize that life can change in a split second, and the way life changes, we have to change along with our business, and we have to be creative and figure out, how we can keep this business going. How can we keep, revenue and the business afloat? So I would say, like I said, creativity and have your goals set, and don't let anything derail you from that. Because one way or the other, you're there to strive for that business. Because I'm sure Eider as well has, been focused and determined, and regardless of whatever situation, we're on that path to success. There's no looking back.
Yeah, I love that. No looking back. I love that.
I would like to add. I could add a piece. In business, and like Miss Shanida said, or in her past experience, she has had multiple business. Myself included, have had multiple business that I tried out, and sometimes you have to, in business, it's like it's a gamble. You win some, lose some. but what you learn is experience. So you keep the experience and the perseverance that keeps you continuing. So just to sum up, Miss Shahira's Shahida. Yes. What she said, I just wrote down one sentence. It's a creative adapting changes to success.
Awesome. I love it. I love it.
Yes.
I love it.
Nice.
Very good.
I
actually have this
for COVID.
Yeah. I love that. Speaks to so much, man. That is so good. I actually have this question for Eider. We have the Bellavi Bistro here in Belmopan. Amazing food. Remember when I saw your pictures, I'm like, man, we gotta get
ice cream.
We gotta get ice cream here in Belmopan as well. So
Yes.
tell us how can, if I wanted to have a brunch here, or I wanted to have ER's icy treats in Belmopan, how would I go about that?
Okay, well, we're headed into the Christmas break, which usually people spending, it goes to Christmas. So starting early next year, ER's Icy Treats would like to start off with a new sales tactic. It's called the ER's At Home Agent. So we're planning to launch this next year at like February to get into the Easter vibe. So you can become an agent and sell our products.
Awesome.
Right at your home, you could be a distributor for us in your neighborhood, in your community, to distribute our products, and restaurants included.
Very
so,
nice.
Ms. Shahida, we gotta make some connection there.
Connections. There you go.
Definitely.
There you go.
Looking forward to that for sure.
So,
I love it.
Yeah, so here you have creativity. We were talking about growth strategies. I think a big part of growth strategy is being creative, but also making sure that we it's a strategy, we set goals and we work towards. I love what you said, next year, February. That means from now you're making a plan that for next year you're gonna launch this thing, right? So
year.
Yeah, so it's
Hopefully
very important, guys. Yeah. It's very important to have a strategy and then execute those strategy. Well, I just want to say to both Ms. Shahida and Eider, we're out of time. It was a pleasure having both of you on the show. Thank you guys so much for just giving of yourself and sharing your stories with us. I just want to say thank you so much for coming on and being with us tonight. And so
thank you very much.
Awesome.
Thank you for having us on the show.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And I also want to say to our viewing audience, I want to thank you guys for always making Creative Monday Discussion Show your show for Monday night. We want to thank our sponsors, Tas Belize Limited for Mosa Cafe, Coaching with Melanie, The Art Shack, YWCA, TNC, and the Budram Solutions Limited. And I just want you guys to know that even this show is actually a production of Budram Solutions Limited, a new business venture that my wife and I have started out this year, right? So you're going to hear a lot more about that. But I want to say God bless you. Have a great evening. This is Mervin Budram signing out, and we'll see you again next week, Monday. Have a good evening.